It looked like somebody was bent over and had their head in the window of the deer blind. It either heard me or smelt me, and he pulled his head out of the tent and stood straight up, and that shocked me. They don't make people that big.
The way it moved, almost as if it was gliding across the beach. I've never seen anything move like that in my life. They were screaming at each other in gibberish. It sounded like a language, and they were chuntering away back and forwards, back and forwards, back and forwards. I know what a bear looks like, and there is no way on this planet that what I saw were bears.
What are you reporting?
Jesus Christ, you better...
Sir?
Gia!
Hello?
Get somebody out here.
What's going on now, sir?
That son of a bitch is about 6'9", I don't know.
Do you see him now, sir?
Yes, I'm looking right at him.
Uh-oh.
Hey, this is Luke Griggs, and you are listening to Sasquatch Chronicles.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Thanks for being here tonight. Got a great show planned for you tonight. We're going to be chatting with Sean, and Sean comes to us from upstate New York. Him and his father had an encounter when they were returning from a fishing trip. It's a pretty fascinating account, actually. There's multiple witnesses who saw it. We're also going to be chatting with Matt, and Matt comes to us. His encounter took place on right on the border of North Carolina and South Carolina. Back in 2003, and much like Sean's encounter, Matt's is a little bit more aggressive, but there's multiple witnesses that had seen this creature. Very, very fascinating stuff. If you've had an encounter and you'd like to be on the show, shoot me an email. My email address is wes@sasquatchchronicles.com. And I hope everyone enjoyed the show last week that Tony came. It's it was cool doing the swap, to talk about different things, and I was bugging Tony to do that Billy the Kid show. I wanted him to do it. He wouldn't do it, so I just did it. And we ended up doing the whole swap thing, and I told him, I said, it better be about Bigfoot, because they'll eat you alive in the comments if you go off track. And the day he shows up, it's an alien encounter. But I thought Tony did a good job, and I thought it was something fun to do, to kind of host each other's podcast. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys get a chance to listen to the Billy the Kid show. I put a lot of work into that show, and it was a lot of fun too as well. Let's jump into it tonight. I want to welcome Sean to the show. Sean, thanks for coming on.
Sure, man. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm really happy to have you on, Sean. Thank you again for being here. Now, your encounter took place about a year and a half ago, didn't it?
Yeah, about I believe it was early November. The year before COVID and all this. So about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, so pretty recent, really. I mean, a year and a half ago is a pretty recent encounter. And I know it took place in upstate New York, which it's beautiful up there. There's pictures I've seen that remind me of Washington State. I wanted to ask you, though, Sean, prior to your encounter, what was kind of your thoughts on the whole topic of Bigfoot, prior to seeing what you saw?
Well, you always hear the stories growing up, I think probably wherever you are, but, I didn't, I never thought it was something I would ever see. It was just kind of folklore. I didn't not believe anything, if that makes any sense. I mean, I was never pessimistic about it. To be honest, I never anticipated ever seeing anything even remotely to what that could be or that could mean. So.
Yeah, I get that. I get where you're coming from, Sean. I mean, you're kind of on the fence. It's probably, being out there in upstate New York is probably the last thing on your mind. If you would you just kind of start from the very beginning, Sean? Kind of tell us what you were doing and walk us into what happened. What did you see?
It was, and actually it was in Western New York. It's kind of north of Syracuse. There's the Salmon River there, which is pretty much world-class salmon fishing. My dad and I, we go for steelhead, which is that season's after the salmon season. But anyway, so we were out there fishing for a couple days. It's kind of rural. I mean, there's not a lot out there. I mean, there's the river, the town. Really, that's about it. So anyway, we were there for a few days, and this happened actually when we were leaving. It was probably 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. We had been fishing all day, driving back, and on the route that we take back, we like to drive alongside the river. So if I can describe this correctly for you, when we're heading home, the river is on the left side of the road, and it's maybe between 30 to 50 feet off of the road. At some points you can't see it, but it always tends to bend back towards the road. So when we're leaving, we always kind of look to the river to see if we can see anybody fishing or where people might be fishing, stuff like that. As we were driving, my eyes were kind of bouncing back, like looking to the river, looking back to the road, back to the river, that kind of thing. And what happened was, as I was looking to the river, I saw something. I didn't register it as anything because it wasn't moving. It was just kind of, I thought it could have been like a large, I don't know, tree or anything, just large. But when my eyes went back towards the road, I noticed whatever was there. It was tall. I mean, it was probably, if I had to guess, between 8 to 10 feet tall. And it like crouched down. That's what drew my attention to it, was the movement of this thing. So as I'm going, I saw it something like kind of shrink or kind of crouch down, and then it just took off like a shot and ran directly in front of our car. Actually, when I shouldn't say it didn't really run because it was on all fours. It was more like bounding, I guess you could say. It kind of had it ran like a dog or a wolf, something like that. But when it was getting closer, and this all happened so quickly. I mean, that's the other thing, was the speed that this thing moved at. It took like one bound, then it was up to the road, and then it took another one. And when it was in front of me, it was probably, I would have to say maybe 30 feet at the most in front of the car. And when it was outstretched, as it was running, when it was outstretched, it covered like both lanes of traffic. I mean, when I say it was huge. I mean, I can't even imagine how many pounds it was, but it was definitely long enough to extend almost from, one side of the road to the other. I was in a truck, a pickup truck, and the back of this creature was above. It was higher than the hood of my pickup truck. And then what I noticed about it, what first caught my eye was obviously the speed of this thing that was moving in front of me. And then I noticed the fur on it, which was really strange. It was like jet black. It was longer. It had like an oily almost finish to it. It wasn't like a wet, like a matted down fur. It was like an oily fur. Like I could almost see not every hair, but it was very strange, and that's what caught my eye. I think it was the light maybe caught some kind of glistening